Since the arrival of the new mistress, the inner quarters of the house had become off-limits to the servants, but the mute could come and go freely, untroubled by the suspicions of others, just as a dog goes in and out of the house as it pleases. One day, Samnyong found his young master prostrate on the street, early drunk, a new habit with him. He'd been badly bitten by some brute. Samnyong carried his young master home on his back. When he brought him inside, he found his mistress sewing alone in her room. She felt grateful to the mute. A little while later, she presented him with a silken pouch to store his flint as a token of her gratitude. The young master noticed the pouch one night. He dragged his wife from her bed and threw her out into the inner yard, her hair completely disheveled. Then he beat her black and blue. On seeing this, the mute became inflamed with indignation. He rushed in like a wild boar, pulled the young master away, and flung his mistress over his shoulder. Then he ran like a deer to his aging master and laid her down before him. The mute explained his case with repeated hand signs and other gestures. The next morning, the young master struck the mute hard in the face with an ash-tree whip. One side of his face bled, his eye and cheek swelling up as large as a fist. "Damn mute, how dare you touch my wife!" cursed the young master as he whipped the mute. Then he grabbed the mute's pouch, tore it off, and threw away its pieces into the privy hole. "Bastard! Now he even hits his own master! That bastard deserves to die!" He lashed the whip at the nape of the mute's neck, causing him to fall to the ground. The mute joined his hands, pleading for forgiveness. Instead of apologizing with words, he made one deep bow after another, his nose almost touching the ground. But in his heart, a desire for justice was beginning to stir. In his pain, he suppressed a seething anger. From then on, the mute was forbidden to enter the inner quarters. The prohibition aroused his curiosity, which imperceptibly transformed more and more into longing to see his mistress. The longer he went without seeing her, the stronger the flame in his heart burned. He ached with sorrow. Yet the desire to see her, even just once, also awakened a new sensibility in his soul. This nameless sensation, despite all his grief, brought him such joy that it made him feel alive. He would have gladly changed his life for this sensation. At times, he wanted to break through the wall of the house with his head, just to see his mistress. But he kept such impulses in check. Since this awakening, he ceased to eat well, nor could he concentrate on his work. During breaks, he dreamed of entering the inner quarters. The old master now took better care of him, giving him more food and tried to make his life a little more comfortable. But the mute was not content. At night, sleepless, he would wander around the walls of the house.